Hello, are you a drummer who writes songs, but you can't keep a band together because you keep talking about how we live in a simulation and nothing's real and people think you're crazy? Well, you're in the right place. All you need is a drum set and a sampling pad. In my case, I'm using the SPD SX Pro. I call this consistent loop building. I'm going to play a loop, and then every 8 measures, I'm going to add a new loop and just keep adding. And obviously I have a drum set, so I'm going to keep developing the drum beat that I'm playing. This is a cool way to create a piece of music as a one-man band and have it not really be too repetitive because you're always adding something. It can be very exciting in a live setting. I just did it the other night. People were just like, what are you doing? This is awesome. It's nice to have a band, but if you can't keep it together and people don't like you, then, I've made all these loops beforehand within Logic Pro, things that work together. These are all in the same key, all in the same tempo. Let's break down what I got here on the pad. Pad 1 is a hi-hat with a bunch of delay and a little bit of reverb. Now I like this because it's acting as my metronome. With the SPD SX Pro, you can have the click play through your headphones without it going through the speakers if you're in a live situation. And with a lot of my loops, a lot of my beats I make, I like to have a percussive loop so that it's acting as my metronome. And it just keeps me grounded, and it's also a musical element. Let's talk about my mid-range arpeggio. Sounds like that. Mid-range, not too low, not too high, just right. And then on pad 8, I have a high-range arpeggio. Again, that's going to be 8 measures, but put them together, sounds like this. On pad 9, I have a big, luscious synth pad. A big, beautiful pad, BBP. Pad 9, I have lead keys. I wouldn't really consider this an arpeggio because it's sort of more of a lead melody. It sounds like this. Okay, now let's talk about my basses. And I say basses because I have 2. So I have one bass that is acting as an electric bass guitar. Now I played these all on a MIDI keyboard, so it's not a real bass guitar, but it sort of has that element, so it sounds like this. Pad 5 next to it is going to be a deep, filthy synth bass that's going to hold out a note for 2 measures, and it's just adding some grittiness, a deep synth sound, absolutely disgusting, awful sounding synth bass, but put them together and it's kind of nice. All right, so I add all these things together, and then I subtract. At the end, every 8 measures, I take away a loop until I get back to my original percussion hi-hat loop. I mix all these loops within Logic Pro so that when I put them into the pad, they sound pretty good together. Every once in a while, you add an audio file into this pad or any pad. With the live drums, you might have to tweak some levels. I did a little EQing. My pad was a little harsh, so I lowered the high end on the EQ a little bit. If you like these sounds, I'm going to make a whole sample pack of just my best loops. That is coming soon. But in the meantime, you can go and check out my sample packs. They're in the link below. I have a bunch of chords and other arpeggios. I have synth pads. I have single notes of just pianos and synth keys. Check out that link below. And also check out the full video in the description below. And if you're feeling really good about yourself and you like my videos and you want to support the channel, you can buy me a coffee. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you next time.